Today I'm going to be replacing the tensioner pulley assembly for my 2007 V6 Ford Mustang. The reason I'm choosing to replace is because the belt is squeaking, and I've inspected all the other pulleys and stuff, and it seems like none of them are wobbling or anything like that, especially the water pump pulley. That seems to be good. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is get a breaker bar. We're going to go ahead and stick it in at the bottom of the tensioner pulley, and then what you're going to do is go ahead and pull it all the way down. Hopefully you can get the belt loose from the pulley system. Alright. And then go ahead and let go of the breaker bar once you got it off the alternator. You could have taken it off the tensioner pulley, but it's fine. We're just going to go ahead and bring it back up after we get it loose. I'm just going to go ahead and rest it onto the alternator. So it's off the tensioner pulley, I'm going to rest it onto the alternator so I don't have to realign it again. Now that the tensioner pulley is free of this belt, we can go ahead and take it off itself. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a 1/2 inch socket, put it onto the tensioner pulley assembly. That's on there pretty tight, so I'm going to go ahead and use the breaker bar. There we go. When you hear those clicks, that's how you know the breaker bar is doing its job. Now that it is broken free, if you will, you can go ahead and stick a smaller wrench in there so I don't have to mess with the coolant lines. Alright, so now we got the tensioner pulley free. Let's go ahead and give it a good old examination.
Alright, so looking at them side by side, doesn't seem like the pulley is any different. I mean, maybe the new one spins a little bit more than the old one, but the main thing we're looking for is that this new pulley can keep tighter than the old one. That's all we really need, and hopefully the noises will go away.
Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is get my torque wrench set. For the tensioner pulleys, it should be set at 35 foot-pounds. So go ahead and grab your torque wrench, bring it all the way down to 35 foot-pounds. And I know you're not supposed to store these with it torqued all the way up, but I accidentally forgot. Anyway, so go ahead and find 35 foot-pounds. Alright, so I have it set at 35 foot-pounds. I don't know, you guys can maybe see that. It's at 35 foot-pounds. So then what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the bolt out of my old tensioner pulley, just because it's not that much rust. This car only has about 60,000 miles. Here's the new one. It's just going to sit in like that. The kind of cool thing is the tensioner pulley has this little dot, so you don't put it in upside down or the wrong way or whatever, so it should be easy to line up. Alright, so once you got it in place, it seems like that little dot will be pointing to the top right, or to the driver's side a little bit to the top, about 30 degrees. Alright, so now that it's screwed in quite a bit with a small wrench, you don't need to do it hard. Let the heavy lifting go to the torque wrench. Alright, so go ahead and put your torque wrench down there, 35 foot-pounds. So we're going to go ahead and... So once you hear that click, like that, you know it's at where you set it to be. So it's at 35 foot-pounds. Alright, so now it's time to put the belt back on. So go ahead and get your big breaker bar. Put it in the little slot of the new tensioner pulley. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and take it off that. Put it back on the tensioner pulley. And then we're going to pull it back and try to get the belt back on too. Alright, so now tensioner pulley seems like it's doing its job, holding it tied on to the pulley system. Just got to make sure that the belt is on the pulleys all the way for all of them. Alright, so I just noticed actually that the belt is a little bit off of the pulley, or the tensioner pulley itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and release that a little bit. And get it on course. There we go. So I'm glad I checked before I turned the car on. Even though it was just a little bit off, I'm sure that it would have been fine once the car started. It would have went back into place. But let's go ahead and turn the car on. Alright, so as you guys can see, I don't know if you can hear me, but there's absolutely no squeaking noise left in the car. Alright, so that seemed to solve the issue. There's no squeaking noises in the car anymore. I'll go ahead and play a before clip right now. And then I'll play the after clip. Alright, so as you guys can see, there's no squeaking noises. I'll go ahead and take it for a drive. If there is a squeaking noise, it'll be at the end of part of this video. I'll say that, look, after a drive, you know, started to squeak again. But if there's not that part, then it did not squeak again. Absolutely no issues with my belt system. Tensioner's looking good. Everything's looking good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.